Hi everybody! This is me, Lady Annette, and Luton, here to
Hey,
explain masteries to you, because I know some of you guys are a little bit confused on them. This is for AZG. So if you're ever curious about like my masteries, you can just look at mine or Luton's. I have them pretty organized. I have ability marksman, auto attack marksman, AP mid, AD mid, stuff like that. So we're just basically going to talk about how to pick your masteries and what's good for what champion. Not all the champions, but like maybe like one or two. So let's look at like
we're not gonna do 120?
no.
Damn.
Okay. So let's look at Annie because Luton and I really do like Annie. And this one was pretty interesting to play around with. So before you begin, you want to first pick your keystone. So for example, you kind of have an idea for what mastery page you want and you kind of want to make it for like bursty APs, preferably mid, or champions like Annie. So you're going to want to pick a keystone for them. Um, we picked Storm Raider Surge, which deals 30% of a champion's max health within 2 seconds, grants you 35% move speed for 3 seconds. So what this does is if you basically chunk them down, you have a lot of move speed, right?
Yeah, it'd be helpful for Annie to finish people off sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Potentially. It's kind of a
Yeah,
testing thing right now. It'll be either Deathfire Torch or Storm Raider Surge,
yeah.
depending how effective Storm Raider Surge is.
So I actually have Deathfire Touch on Talon, and what this does is your damaging abilities cause enemy champions to take 6 plus 5% of your bonus attack damage and 20% of your ability power and magic damage over 3 seconds. It's an area of effect and damage over time. Abilities apply half of this damage over 1.5 seconds instead. So I put Deathfire Touch on Talon because he has that bleed and he does have burst, and it's also like right along like the damage tree. But for now, we're just gonna look at like Annie's tree. So first step, pick a keystone for whichever one for whatever mastery you want to make. Um, your second step, once you finish this, you'll have 18 and you'll have 12 left over. 12 is just enough to get to the fourth column, and which makes available Bounty Hunter, Oppressor, Bandit, Dangerous Game, Insight, and Perseverance. Or you can have, with your 12 remaining points, two of the second row ones, which is Double-Edged Sword, Feast, Runic Affinity, Secret Stash, Explorer, and Tough Skin. What I did is I went to the fourth column because the fourth column masteries are a lot more beneficial than the second one column. But again, it's all, depending on your preference and like your play style. So you have those options. So let's just make a quick champion um page. So could you give me like something, give me like a champion that's going to be popular or is popular already.
Just do a general lady carry one.
General AD carry one. So
Like your
let's.
Caitlyn Tristana Jinx.
All right, let's go with Tristana because she's really popular right now. Jinx is popular too, but we'll just stick with Tristana. So, knowing your keystones, be sure to read through them. I'm gonna want to go with Warlord's Bloodlust because Warlord's Bloodlust grants 15, or not grants, but like what it does is critical strikes heal for 15% of the damage dealt and grant you 20% attack speed for 4 seconds. That is a lot. So, as
It's
a
essentially 15% lifesteal whenever you crit, for free,
mhm.
without
And
having to build an item.
with, marksman 80 carry, you're gonna have a lot of crit, like even if you don't put any
Especially
crit
with the new
wounds.
items.
Yeah, especially with the new
The new
items.
items, you're probably going to end up with either 100 or 91% crit chance at the end of the game.
Okay. So, knowing that you would want this keystone, and I'm not saying that you should get this for Tristana. You can do whatever the heck you want, but this is what we want. So, knowing that we want Warlord's Bloodlust, we're just gonna make our way down towards the tree. So, we're gonna get Fury, because you don't really need sorcery. Double-Edged Sword and Feast is completely up to you. I would go feast, but Luton would, argue for double-edged sword, right?
Double-edged sword is the
Hey, wake up.
risky one. You're gonna do more damage, but you're gonna take more damage.
Yeah. So for my preference, because this is how I like to play, I'm gonna go with feast. Then I'm gonna go for vampirism, and then bounty hunter. So this is another toss-up. It seems like these ones are mainly the toss-ups. The ones with the numbers on them are just like, bonus stats. But these ones are the ones that really will affect, you know, your gameplay. So, bounty hunter, you deal 1% increased damage for each unique enemy champion you kill. This didn't say it wasn't going to be permanent, so assume that you'll have a max 5% increased damage for each unique enemy champion you kill. So if you kill all 5 of the enemy champion, you'll have permanent 5%, which is really nice because oppressor only grants you 2.5%, and that's if they're impaired. Okay, which is like slow, stun, snare, taunt. But I mean, each one can go either way, right? Right, Lou?
Yeah. So basically, if you think you're gonna kill at least 3 of the enemy champions throughout the game, bounty hunter will be better in the end.
Mm-hmm. But there are certain situations where oppressor is like really good. Like I put oppressor on my Amumu because Amumu has a huge AoE stun, and I'm right there anyway, and I'm most likely gonna try to give the kill to somebody else rather than keep it for myself as Amumu. So, decisions. It's up to you.
Depends on how you play.
Yeah. And obviously you want to go armor penetration rather than magic penetration as Tristana. And then you'll have your keystone. So now you have 12 remaining points. You can either put them on 2 of the second row or 1 of the fourth row. But like I said, fourth row ones we feel are a lot more beneficial. So we're just going to go for a fourth row. And what we're mainly going to be looking at is dangerous game. And Lou, could you explain dangerous game?
Whenever you get a kill or assist, you just get 5% of your missing health and mana back, which often saves you if you're really low health.
Cool. So it's because this is what we want, we're gonna work our way towards that. So we're gonna get savagery rather than wanderer. Wanderer is more like a roaming mid or something, or a roaming support.
They're both okay.
This one is a toss-up. Runic affinity buffs granted by jungle monsters last 15% longer, including epic monsters. So this means red
Baron buff
buffs,
as well.
Baron buffs will last a bit longer on you, or secret
Dragon
stash.
buff as well.
Yeah. Your potions, flask, and elixirs last 10% longer. Additionally, your potions are replaced with biscuits that restore 20 health and 10 mana instantly upon consumption. So I think this gives you just a little bit more of sustain, and depending on how we like to play, I usually don't get red buffs as an AD carry, so I'm gonna pick secret stash, but Luton gets red buffs because he's just cool. So
Because I demand them.
I demand the red buff.
It depends, like, if your jungler's gonna take all the buffs, you may as well just get secret stash.
So, again, decisions, up to you. There's no wrong answer.
Yeah.
There's either merciless or meditation. Here is, like, obviously, like, a wrong answer. Well, no, it's really, really clear that merciless deal 5% increased damage to champions below 40% health is much better than, like, 0.3% of your missing mana once every 5 seconds. And then we'll get our dangerous game. So that's how we finish our page. This is how we made our decisions. Obviously, you can mess with your mastery tree however you want. You don't even have to get a keystone, but it's really, really important.
I mean, it shows them in game. They're pretty important.
Yeah, they're pretty important. The most important decision is what keystone you want for what mastery page you're making.
And on that, I believe the best one for tanks, which we didn't touch on, is Bond of Stone.
Yeah, it's Bond of Stone.
Far Right and Resolve.
This is the best one for tanks, we feel. I mean, we talked about this for a really long time, so you can look at it, let us know what you think. But yeah, if you guys have any other questions, let me or Luton know, and then we'll try to help you out, okay? Awesome. Thank you.